So today I'm demonstrating how to set up a sterile field for wound care and also donning sterile gloves. So the first thing I would do is make sure that I have all of my supplies with me. So the sterile kit, tape, sterile gloves, bandages, non-sterile gloves, and also saline solution for cleaning the wound. I would perform hand hygiene when I enter the room and introduce myself to the client, ask the client to identify themselves by name and birth date and checking their wristband. And I would also ensure that the client knows what's happening today. I would make sure that they're comfortable, that they don't have to go to the bathroom, and make sure that the lighting's good. I would also ensure that I don't have any rings on my finger, any chipped nail polish, nothing like that before I wash my hands. And then I would set up my nursing tray. So I'd wipe it down and make sure that it's at waist height because everything below the waist is considered contaminated. And then I would perform hand hygiene again. So then I would put on my non-sterile gloves for setting up my sterile field. I'd put on my sterile gloves when I'm going to be actually dressing the wound. So here's my kit. I would read it, make sure I have everything I need before actually starting the procedure. So I'd open it up. And next I'm going to open up my kit. So I'm starting from the top and only touching within the 1-inch margin. And I have the forceps here, the transfer forceps, and I'm going to make sure that my sterile field is square to me. And I have the sterile drape, which would go onto the client. The garbage bag, which all of the gauzes and all of that would go into. Alright, so now I'm preparing the sterile field. I have 2 forceps in here. I'm just moving them off to the side. I have 2x2 gauzes for cleaning, and I'm putting them out. And I have 4x4 gauzes for cleaning, and I'm putting them out. So next I would need to grab the saline solution to pour in. I would grab my transfer forceps, and I would put the side that I touched on the 1-inch margin that's not sterile. I would then step back from the sterile field, always making sure that it's in my line of sight, that I don't turn my back to it. And I would grab the saline solution, which I don't have, and I would uncap it and pour it in, making sure that none of it's spilling out or splashing. The cap I would put down onto the table, making sure that the inside of it is facing up. Pour the saline solution in, step back, recap, put it down. And then next I would grab the garbage bag, I would fold it over, grab tape and tape it to the nursing tray. And then I would grab my bandages. So I'm just going to demonstrate with one, but you would want to put quite a few out. So you start from the top that has the arrows here, and you can only touch, you don't want to touch anything inside because it's all sterile. So what you can do is you can open it first and then turn it over, making sure not to touch anything and letting it drop onto the sterile field, keeping the inside over the sterile field until you've come out, and then folding it up and putting it in the garbage. So that's the sterile field all set up. Next, I would, I would grab the forceps again and I'd put the gauze into the saline solution to soak before cleaning the wound. So I put that down, and next I'm going to be showing you how to do the donning of the sterile gloves, which is what I would put on before touching the client's wound. Okay. So I'm making sure that I only touch within the 1 inch margin. I put my fingers underneath the flaps here and open it up. So I want to put the sterile gloves, I want to don by doing my dominant hand first. So I use my non-dominant hand to grab the outer bit of the cuff that's folded. I keep my thumb in and I slide my hand in. Of course that didn't work, my fingers got stuck. So let's try that again. Okay, so we'll pretend these weren't touched. So I grab the outer bit of the cuff and slide my hand in. Okay, so now this hand is sterile, so I can't touch anything with it. So to do the other hand, I would go inside the cuff of the left to do my non-dominant hand, sliding my fingers into the cuff, keeping my thumb out, sliding my fingers in, and then tucking my thumb under. Then you pull up. All right, and now I'd be ready to help the client taking care of their wound. And of course I would document everything that I did in this procedure.